ERC, quality service since 1972, repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
You've clicked on the Weather Xtreme video from ABC 3340. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters with you, and I want to remind you about Storm Alert Extreme. It's our annual severe storm spotter training session. That'll be November the 15th. You can see the information there at the BJCC. You don't have to register. You don't have to sign up. Just come on down, 9:30 to 3:30, and plus you get admission to the 2009 International Auto Show. Now, this morning, looks like we're starting off a bit foggy. This is the shot from Coleman. Don't see quite as much fog down in Birmingham, so the fog is somewhat patchy, but still we have it out there this morning, and the temperature is cool. We have a cold front that moved through the area. You can see that on the surface map. Also notice Paloma down there in the Caribbean, a major Category 4 hurricane in November. Plus, we've had a blizzard across the northern part of the United States. Wow, can the weather get any stranger than that? Oh, I shouldn't ask that kind of question. Here's our trough this morning, and it is managing to make its way through the area, but I suspect the cooler air will actually come tomorrow with a little reinforcing shot of colder air. And here is a look at temperatures. Boy, you can see it is pretty darn chilly up there in the Dakotas and in central north kind of central Canada, I guess, south central Canada, I guess you'd call it. And across the local area, our temperatures ranging from 34 there at Tuscaloosa to about 41 at Birmingham. And, of course, we should see temperatures climb up, I think, into the lower and mid-60s today. Now, speaking of the tropics, here is major Category 4 Hurricane Paloma, and winds 115 miles an hour, minimum pressure 945. Looks like it's going to come by the Cayman Islands this morning and present a real problem for them, as well as central Cuba. And this is the fourth tropical system this year to affect Cuba. Here's the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center, and it really is kind of weird to look at a major hurricane, but then in 48 hours, it could be nothing more than a remnant low, and that's because of the shear. Looks like the shear is going to increase dramatically in about 24 hours, and as that happens, they expect it to actually decrease in intensity nearly as rapidly as it increased. Now, QPF-wise showing us that we're in for a bit of a wet period. This is for the next 5 days, ending ending on Wednesday evening, I believe it is. This is through Wednesday evening. So most of our rain, I think, is going to come probably on Thursday and early Friday, but we will get some rain in between. And the probability of some severe weather is possible. This is day 2. And that shows the Storm Prediction Center's outlook in Oklahoma and north central Texas. And that shifts a little bit eastward on day 3, and right now day 4 through 8 don't include anything in the way of an outlook, but we're going to keep watching that system. And the problem right now is, of course, the models don't seem to be gelling on any one solution. All right, here's a look at the 06Z GFS model run, and this is the 500 millibar pattern, about 18,000 feet in the atmosphere for today. And there's our trough, and we can also see those little vorticity centers off to the northwest that are going to help to bring a reinforcing shot of colder air, and they rotate down through, and another one comes in there in around Minnesota, and that will bring a reinforcing shot of colder air down into the area. And so I think tomorrow we're going to struggle to see temperatures climb much above about 60 degrees. We get a little bit of a complicated pattern for Monday, but I think that for the most part we'll be dry as a little storm system begins to develop to our west. And then the troughiness begins to get its act together just a little bit, but still it doesn't get right on top of us. So I think probably Tuesday we're going to see at least some chance for rain, at least during the mid and latter part of the day. And then finally, the upper air pattern begins to kind of congeal just a little bit as we see a strong trough coming through the western part of the United States. But in the meantime, our little front has kind of stalled out in our area, and that could mean that we will see a rather wet day on Wednesday. Now, the trough gets together and digs into the central United States with a pretty good trough there on northeast Texas. And that will keep us kind of in an unsettled pattern, and the GFS is forecasting a bit of a surface low to develop over, eastern Texas and Louisiana. The trough continues to get its act together on Friday, and that should help to then swing the main weather through here, and I think we'll see improving weather by the latter part of Friday. Now, there are some differences in the computer models, and so that makes confidence not really high. The GFS solution suggests that the trough really deepens, and that looks to be pretty cold. Now, yesterday, James was talking some about the possibility of snow. Well, we don't see that quite so much, although there is some wraparound moisture, it looks like here, and some moisture in that colder air. But look at that 540 line down all the way to Birmingham for Saturday, which is Storm Alert Day. Storm Alert Extreme Day. Then the cold air, as the system, the whole weather pattern over the U.S. remains pretty progressive, and the cold air shunts off to the east pretty quickly, and that means we're going to recover. Now, looking out into voodoo, and of course this is voodoo, but the GFS is suggesting, and the trends are what we kind of watch for, the GFS is suggesting that we'll get a little more of a zonal pattern with the main westerlies well to our north, and that continues even into the end of the period on Sunday the 23rd, although we're now seeing a little bit higher amplitude than we were at the middle of the period. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Weather Extreme video this morning. Hope that you have a great weekend. I should have the next one posted tomorrow morning, and in just a short order, I'm going to be headed over to Anniston and be working with folks at a health fair over there, and so hope you get a chance to come out. Have a great weekend, and Godspeed.